In a delightful podcast exchange between two comedians of great repute, Dan Soder and Yiannis Papas, humor takes center stage as they engage in playful jest and light-hearted ribbing.
I'm going to come in with a skull mask on and kidnap people we know. When Schulz and his boy are banging on chairs, I'm coming in with a fucking laser sight. Where he's like, you didn't say that! I'm like, get the on the ground! I want unsequestered bills. You're going to put them in the not sequestered bills. Put them in the trash. And they go, damn! And then you know how all the clips have the picture of them being like, it's just me with a face covering and a bag of money. I'm telling you, I'm coming for all you rich. I'm from.
The target of their jest, Schulz and Akaash Singh from the Flagrant podcast, finds himself at the epicenter of a comedic tempest, albeit in the most amicable and entertaining manner possible. Dan Soder, in his inimitable comedic style, paints a whimsical picture for the audience. He conjures up a scenario so surreal, it could only belong in the realm of comedy. With a flourish, he describes his hypothetical entry into the podcast, adorned in a skull mask, as if auditioning for a role in a comedic heist. The mental imagery evoked by such an entrance is nothing short of a theatrical spectacle, embodying the essence of comedy, the absurdity of it all. The crux of the jest revolves around the exaggeration of Schulz and Akaash Singh's laughter, a signature feature of their podcast. In the world of comedy, amplification and caricature are essential tools for eliciting laughter. Dan Soder's portrayal of their laughter as an explosive force echoes this age-old comedic tradition. The duo's uproarious responses to the podcast's content are humorously envisioned as loud enough to rattle chairs, transforming the recording studio into a chaotic and hilariously exaggerated environment. Dan Soder takes the jest a step further by proposing a comedic twist that involves feigned danger. His playfully absurd idea of utilizing a laser sight and mock bullets to stage a mock kidnapping scenario introduces an element of surprise, blending humor with theatricality. It is a testament to the creativity and imaginative depths comedians are willing to plunge into to generate laughter. In this context, the comedy resides not in malice but in the sheer preposterousness of the scenario presented. The comedic landscape today has evolved to encompass various facets, including visual elements such as video thumbnails. Dan Soder cleverly incorporates this aspect into his jest, humorously suggesting the use of a bag of money to obscure his face in video clips. This witty inclusion adds another layer of absurdity, emphasizing the playful nature of the jest and furthering the hilarity. However, the crux of the situation lies in the interpretation by some fans. Comedy is a nuanced art form, and comedians often use exaggeration, playful teasing, and humorous banter as their tools of the trade. It is important to recognize that the intention behind Dan Soder's jest was not to launch an attack or criticism but to entertain and elicit laughter. Comedy thrives on pushing boundaries and embracing the absurd, and in this context, Schulz and Akaash Singh are not targets but unwitting accomplices in the comedic mayhem. Comedians, with their razor-sharp wit and boundless creativity, navigate the treacherous waters of humor with a nuanced understanding of the potential for misunderstandings or misinterpretations. When these comedic masters find themselves caught in the crossfire of a misinterpretation, they wield a variety of tools to address the situation gracefully. Firstly, comedians often rely on their finely honed skills of improvisation to steer through the turbulence of misunderstandings. Quick thinking and adaptability are their allies in these moments. Rather than backpedaling or apologizing profusely, comedians often seize the opportunity to further the humor by incorporating the misunderstanding into their act. By embracing the mishap, they transform it into yet another layer of comedy, demonstrating their ability to find humor even in unexpected situations. Secondly, Self-deprecation is a cherished weapon in a comedian's arsenal. By poking fun at themselves or exaggerating their own follies, comedians can disarm misunderstandings with disarming charm. Audiences often appreciate comedians who can laugh at their own expense, and this approach can quickly diffuse any tensions that arise from misinterpretations. Moreover, comedians may opt for clarification. If they sense that the audience or a particular individual has misconstrued their joke, they might choose to provide context or explanation. However, they do so tactfully, ensuring that the humor remains intact. The goal is not to drain the joke of its comedic value but to guide the audience toward the intended punchline. In the context of exaggerated laughter and over-the-top thumbnails in comedy podcasts, these elements serve as essential comedic devices. Exaggerated laughter, as witnessed in podcasts like Flagrant 2, amplifies the humorous impact of the content. It underlines the absurdity of the situations discussed, enhancing the overall comedic experience for the audience. It also adds a layer of camaraderie, where the host's genuine amusement becomes infectious, encouraging viewers to join in the laughter. Over-the-top thumbnails, on the other hand, are visual tools that complement the comedic content. They are designed to grab the viewer's attention and convey the humorous tone of the podcast. These thumbnails often feature comical expressions, absurd scenarios, or exaggerated visuals that align with the podcast's comedic themes. They serve as a visual invitation, enticing potential listeners with a glimpse of the hilarity they can expect. In essence, comedians use exaggerated laughter and over-the-top thumbnails to create a multidimensional comedic experience. These elements heighten the humor, foster audience engagement, and set the tone for an entertaining and light-hearted podcast. They reflect the comedian's commitment to delivering laughter and ensure that the comedic content reaches its full potential. So, when misunderstandings or misinterpretations arise, comedians skillfully navigate these waters, employing a blend of improvisation, self-deprecation, clarification, and wit. They understand that comedy is an art form open to interpretation, and rather than shying away from misunderstandings, they transform them into opportunities for laughter. In the world of comedy, misunderstandings are not obstacles but stepping stones to even greater humor. In a world where humor is often misconstrued and misinterpreted, it is imperative to appreciate the intent behind the words. Dan Soder's jest, a joyful exercise in comedic absurdity, embodies the essence of humor itself, to transcend the ordinary and find laughter in the most unexpected places. Rather than seeing it as a call-out or affront, it should be celebrated as a masterful display of comedic talent, where the absurdity of life is embraced and laughter reigns supreme.